Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, let me tell you what's going on here. I've been getting books in the mail. And I know, everybody gets books in the mail, right? Well, here's the thing. I come up with a book that I want, and I'll find it on a used book site. And y'all know those sites are always like, buy 3, get 1 free, or buy 4, get 1 free, or buy 3, get 1 72% off or something. And any offer that's and get 1 free, I'm in for. So even if I'm only looking for one book, if the offer is buy 5, get 1 free, I'm getting 6 books. So then I read the one book that I want, and then 5 books end up sitting on the table. So I've had these just random piles of books sitting around the house. And bless his heart, the intern is like, can we maybe do something with these books? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I need to haul them. He's like, you need to haul them up to your office and get them out of here. Y'all, he's not wrong. He puts up with so much mess from me. But so here's what I'm thinking let's do. I have a pile. Hang on. Here's my pile. Y'all can't see my pile. Y'all can see my knee. You can't see my pile. I have a pile of sort of leftover books. They're kind of the B-sides, if you know what I mean. Like the A-side was the book that I wanted to read, and these are the B-sides. Well, some of these are the B-sides of the other books that came in the deal. So let's talk our way through these. Y'all can tell me if you've read any of these, if you know anything about any of them. I'm going to go ahead and read some of them. Some of them I'm just not going to read right now. So if you've read them, if there are any like warnings that I need, let me know. So here's what I got. She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb. Y'all, somehow I've never read a Wally Lamb book. And She's Come Undone, I think this is the one about the teenage girl who's raised by maybe an overbearing mom or an over something mom. Look at the print in this book. When was this thing printed? The last copyright in this thing is 1992, so this sat on somebody's shelf for a while. But anyway, isn't this the one about the teenage girl who's raised by the overbearing mom, and then she's come undone, and this is like her growing up, coming of age, something, I don't know. Anyway, She's Come Undone. Y'all, let me know what you know about this. I feel like everybody was reading this back in the 90s, but it looks terribly sad, right? Like sad looking face floating out over the ocean. I don't know. Never read that one. So we got that. My Sister's Keeper, Jodi Pitt, is it Pinchot? I don't know. Aren't all of her books like sad or have some kind of like plot twist that you're like, wait, what just happened? I've not read any of her books either. But My Sister's Keeper, is this twins and one of them's sick and one of them's not, or one of them's sick and one of them's not? I don't know which is which. Again, this is another one of those that everybody was reading back when it came out, and I didn't read it. So, 2004, this one was published. Got that. Y'all, let me know. Warn me about if this is like a tearjerker. Warn me about that. Lauren Weisenberger, author of The Devil Wears Prada. We all loved that. Okay, I was going to say we all loved that back in the day. I tried to love it. Wasn't the assistant in The Devil Wears Prada like cheating on her husband or something? Y'all, I don't know. I can't. That just puts me off. Like a character who's cheating on her husband and like nothing bad comes of it just bugs me. So I'm not sure that I ever finished The Devil Wears Prada, and I think that's why. Again, it's been decades since we all read that book. But this is one of hers, Everyone Worth Knowing. And I think this is about somebody working in public relations, maybe for a PR firm, and something comes out about her and she was worth knowing and then she's not worth knowing. I don't know. Let me know what you know about this. The Hobbit. Everybody knows everything about The Hobbit. I've seen the movies. I have not read the books. I am teaching leading a high school book club online on the online school that I teach for, or online company. And I think we might read The Hobbit, but I definitely need to read The Hobbit because I know y'all go shun me. I know. I've never read The Hobbit. Y'all knew I was getting this. I read Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant. Is that the right? Did I finally get it in the right order? So I got 4, which is the 4th book. It's about 4. I love 4, but y'all, by the time I was done with Allegiant, I was so over the whole thing. Now, I read the trilogy over literally like 5 days or something. It was like, I don't know, 1,500 pages of the thing over, not quite that many, but it was a lot of pages over 5 days. By the end of Allegiant, so I don't know if the same thing happens in the show as happens in the books, but my eye itches. But something happens to one of the characters at the end of Allegiant, and y'all, I cheered when that happened because I was just over the whole thing. I'm not going to tell what it was because spoilers, but so I'm not going to read, at least I'm not going to read 4 right now. I might go back and read it at some point, but I got it to, finish out the collection. The Night Circus. Oh my gosh, y'all, just the feel, this book is just heavy. Just the feel of it is heavy. It is 500 and something pages. And yeah, it just, I don't know. It feels like, remember back in the day, like the Sears and Roebuck or JCPenney catalog that would come at Christmas time? It feels like one of those. I know, I'm giving y'all all these like old lady references. Anyway, The Night Circus, to my understanding, is about a circus that shows up at night. It only exists at night. And that's all that I know about it. And it's supposed to be amazing. Like this fabulously, like, magical story. So, obviously, I have not read it. This is going in my, I'm probably going to read it pile. And we'll see. The Guest List. I am definitely going to read this. Y'all, this is a psychological thriller about a group of people on an island, or like at a party on an island, or at a wedding, or maybe at a wedding on an island. And somebody ends up dead. And then you got to figure out who killed the dead guy. What I've heard about it is that it is a slow burn, and y'all, I'm in for it. It's a shorty. It's just barely 300 pages. So this is going in the we're reading it pile. Run by Ann Patchett. This is about a rich family that something bad happens to. And I think this whole book takes place over like either a day or a week or something. And something happens to this like successful, powerful family. And it's about how some like accident or somebody's death or something involves or sort of affects all of these people, from like their sort of powerful, like high-end society down like through people in different socioeconomic statuses, multiple status, whatever. People with different, what am I trying to say? People with different socioeconomic status are affected by this. So that's going to go in the maybe going to read pile. Where the Grass is Greener is also by the Devil Wears Prada lady. This is about a pair of sisters, one who's a stay-at-home mom, and the other is a successful like TV producer or book producer or something. And one of them has a daughter who something happens to, and one of them ends up getting knocked off of like her career path, and there's the whole, is the grass always greener? And I got it because it's called Where the Grass is Greener and the Girls Are Pretty. Oh, won't you please? Yeah, I know. Y'all, it was happening in your head. Y'all were singing that in your head. Little Paradise City. So that's going to go in the maybe going to read pile. Liane Moriarty. 9 Perfect Strangers Go to a Spa. It's not the beginning of a joke. It's the setup for this book. No idea what happens. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm going to read it and tell you what I think. Y'all, definitely going in the gonna read it. Might read this one first. The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. Y'all, I'm so excited to read this book. I bought it brand new. Look, no one has ever touched this book. I was going to put the guest list at the top of the definitely gonna read pile. I think The Villa is going at the top of the definitely gonna read pile. I also got Reckless Girls, which is by Rachel Hawkins. People loved this book, so I was like, oh, well, all right, I'll get that book. But then The Villa came out. Look how pretty it is, y'all. How can you not? Did I tell you I bought this new? I bought this brand hardcover. Sorry, that was loud. Hardcover, brand new. One, because the cover's so pretty, and I'm just excited to read it. So yeah, I'm going to read this first, and I'll tell y'all, we'll read it together. We'll go through it together. Oh, y'all, please don't let it suck. Oh, that'll break my heart. Anyway, let me calm down. So the villa, I told you nothing about this. So I believe, y'all saw I had not read this book either, but I believe Rachel Hawkins' stories are sort of dual or multi-timeline. This one is based in a villa in Italy where I think there was like a Charles Manson-esque murder back in the day. And so now we're at present day, somebody's staying at the villa and I don't even know. I'm so excited. I might actually start this. As soon as we stop, I might start reading this. So we'll see what happens. So there's that. Y'all, Susan Mallory. Remember, we met Susan Mallory over Christmas through her book, The Christmas Wedding Guest, which I have to say slowly and sort out in my head because in my head it's The Christmas Wedding Dress, which, what kind of lame book would that be? But it was a fun, cute read set in all the tropes, y'all, all the Christmas tropes. It was a rom-com set in a small town with, you know, the snow and the perfect dog and the perfect people and all the things. And it was cheesy and rom-com-y and I loved it. So I know nothing about The Summer Getaway other than that Susan Mallory wrote it. So, and look how pretty it is. So I got it. I'm not going to read it right now, but I'm going to read it. And I will let y'all know what I think when I do. My last book in my stack is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Y'all, this is young adult, but I think it's like high school young adult, like upper grades young adult. And it's about some rich kids getting into some shenanigans and what happens to them. And clearly I don't know a whole lot about it. One reason I'm going to go ahead and read it, partially just because I want to and it looks interesting, and partially because I've seen some people in like book groups with kids have it on their reading list. So I think I might put it on my reading list, but I need to read it first. So this is going in the gonna read pile. So y'all, that's it for my book haul. Let me get this mess sorted. Figure out where I'm going to start. I think I'm going to start with the villa, but let me think about it, get this mess sorted, and then I'll come back and let y'all know my plan. All right, y'all, we rode and read, we ate and read, and now we're going to sit on the couch and read. I just whacked myself with my book. Now we're going to sit on the couch and read. We have met the main characters in the book. It is, in fact, at least a dual timeline, if not multiple timelines. We've encountered 2 timelines so far. Our main characters in the like modern day, I guess, primary timeline are Emily and Chess. They are friends from like elementary school or high school. Chess is this like, her name was Jessica. She became Chess. I already don't like her. She became this uber successful, I guess, like lifestyle personality. She writes books, but they're like those girl wash your face books. So that's Chess. And then Emily is really our main character, like our protagonist. And I think she's why I don't like Chess, because Chess seems a little overbearing to Emily, to me. But anyway, sorry, the dogs are laying here, so I can't set my cat. We're in a situation. I just wanted to check in, and then I'm going to read. So I didn't get all set up, so sorry. I'm trying not to be all wobbly, but I'm failing miserably. So anyway, we met Chess and Emily. They're like the main timeline, the main sort of through line, I guess. And then we have the flashback timeline, which is the 70s. And that's Mary and her people. And they're kind of like hippies, like, I don't know, commune kind of people. So that might be where I'm getting the Manson vibe. I don't know. Maybe I just made that all up. But anyway, that's as far as we've gotten. So we've met Mary and her boyfriend or husband, something, her paramour, Pierce, and Mary's stepsister, whose name I can't think of. I don't know if I know her name. But anyway, and y'all, this. So the book starts off with this idea that houses remember. It's a little creepy. So I don't know if we're dealing with like a haunted house, in which case we're in trouble. Because y'all know I can't read or watch haunted things in the dark. And it's not dark yet, but it's going to be dark. So we'll see how that goes. So anyway, I'm going to read. I'm about, I don't know, 50 pages in, maybe a little more than that. But I have a little while to read before I have to make dinner and get ready for my show. So I'm going to read. And depending on how it goes, I might check in with y'all a little later, and I might wait and check in the morning and let you know what's up, how far I've gotten, and what I think. All right? So either way, I'll check in with y'all in a bit. Morning, y'all. It's the next morning. I stayed up entirely too late last night reading The Villa. I am miserable. I have to teach all day today. Oh, Lord, y'all. This is going to be a rough one. Remember back in the day when we had hangovers from things other than staying up too late at night reading? Yeah, no, me either. Anyway, my book is upside down. That's the kind of day it's going to be. The Villa. Let's talk a little bit. I am thoroughly enjoying this book. I'm almost done. Did I say that? I am almost done. I think I told you yesterday that Emily is our sort of modern day protagonist and Mary is our... It's not even a flashback. It's like a parallel story in past time. And Mary is the protagonist of that story. And I told you I didn't think that I liked chess, which, y'all, it's a ridiculous name. I was right. I don't like chess. So, no, I'm going to mix up the names. Emily and Chess are both authors. Chess is this lifestyle influencer, and Emily writes cozy, I was going to say cozy romances. Emily writes cozy mysteries. So Emily has a little bit of success, but Chess is uber successful. So Chess's success kind of overshadows Emily's. Well, so that story develops. Emily's going through a divorce, so Chess wants her to go to Italy with her as a getaway to the villa, where back in the 70s, Mary and her stepsister Laura had gone with a couple of musicians. Mary was an aspiring writer, and Laura was kind of a hanger-on. Is that the singular of hangers-on? Hanger-on? So back in the 70s timeline, Mary and Laura went to the villa with these musicians, and in the modern day timeline, Chess and Emily are at the villa. And in the old timeline, things get riled up and bad things happen. And you know that all throughout the book. Like, it's told there are articles woven in and sort of accounts of what happened back in the 70s woven in. And Emily and Chess are aware of what happened back then when they go to the villa. And Emily's kind of hyper aware of it, and Chess is like, whatever, aware of it. Well, so there are these parallels between the two stories, and it's building up to something, and I don't know what it's building up to. And it's really good. So, like I said, I think I said I teach all day today. Y'all, I teach all day today. But I have some breaks in between my classes. I have my lunch break. I work out this morning. I'm going to ride the bike for, I don't know, an hour and a half. So I can read during those times. So I will get it done today. I will get it done today. Like, even if things happen, I'll get it done tonight. Before I go to bed tonight, I will know what happens to these people. So I will come back. I probably won't check in during the day because, y'all, I'm miserable. But I'll come back tonight when I'm done. I will come back when I'm done and let y'all know what happened. Y'all, it has been a crazy day. I told you I'd check back in with you at the end of the book. Unfortunately, well, I'm at the end of the book. I have not finished. I have about 10 pages to go. It's been a crazy day. Did I say that already? I've been teaching all day. I ran out during my lunch break, ran to the library to pick up some books that I had on hold, only to find out that of the 3 books I had on hold, 2 of them, I had the audio versions on CD on hold, not the books. They still make audio versions on CD. Anyway, so I have to work out some new plan with those. But the point of all that being that I didn't get to finish reading The Villa because I was ootin' a boot during lunch. So I have about 10 pages to go. Y'all, something just happened. So I told you we have Emily and Chess in like the modern day villa scenes, and then Mary and her stepsister Laura in the 1970s scene, and they're kind of like hangers on for these musicians that go to the villa, and Mary was an aspiring writer at the time. Well, something's going on. I have 10 pages to go, and there's just been some like weird hijinks between Laura, it's Lara, so I don't know if it's Laura or Laura, either way, the stepsister, and Mary. So I don't know if that's just bad writing. I don't know what's happening. There's 10 pages to go. So I think maybe everything has been wrapped up and she's just putting a button on it, or maybe not. But I'm going to read my last 10 pages before I do anything else, and I will let y'all know what I find out and let you know where we're going from here. So I'll be back. Y'all, I finished the villa. I had to take a minute, throw me together some dinner, grab a glass of wine to process my thoughts before I tried to tell y'all. The last 10 pages, oh my goodness. But I still stand behind what I said before. Make sure I don't have dinner in my teeth. There are definite parallels between Emily and Chess in the current time and Mary and Laura in the 70s time. Chess still annoys the snot out of me. It bugs me how much Emily lets her run roughshod over her and how much she lets Chess control their friendship. But it's interesting. Y'all know how I love me a flawed character. I like the interplay of the characters. And I like how the storylines kind of weave in and out together. It's a good book. It's very interesting. It moves quickly. I don't know if I'd call it a very good book, but it's a good book. So I do recommend The Villa. Y'all, I'm going to eat my dinner, drink some wine. The intern is ootin' a boot. I don't know what he's doing. I'm going to take a few minutes, sort out my thoughts on The Villa, and decide what book to read next. So I will check in with y'all. If I don't check in tonight, I will check in the morning before I get to riding and let y'all know what we're reading next. Hey y'all, did we decide yesterday what book we're going to read next? We're reading We Are Liars. We Were Liars? We Were Liars. Next. I don't know why. It's a quick read. It's young adult. I actually think it's middle grade. It's not even young adult. It is an easy, quick read. So I decided to go ahead and read this one. Hang on. Sorry, let me let this dog out. It is morning. I'm about to get on the bike. So I thought I would check in. I started reading last night, and I'm going to read some more this morning. I have about an hour and a half to ride, and none of my friends have shows this morning. So... Dog just saw a rabbit. So I have some time to read. Like I said, I've already started and not really sure what I think yet. I want to like it. I want to like the characters. It's told from the first person perspective of Cadence. And y'all, there's something off about Cadence. There's something about the way that she's telling us the story. It's almost like she's heard the story from someone else. Yeah, so it's first person from her perspective, but I don't know, her perspective is just weird. She tells us that she's had some kind of accident, maybe a head injury. So I wonder if her perspective is intentionally presented as somebody who's had a concussion or some kind of head injury, because it's sort of fragmented that way. Maybe that's intentional. I don't know. Did I already say I'm only about a third of the way into it? But I mean, I would hope that by a third of the way into a book, you would be like bought in. I'm not yet. But I've been reading pretty quickly, so maybe it's a me thing, not a book thing. So I'm going to get on the bike, I'm going to read some more, and then I have a show this morning. I got to do some work, lesson planning, those kind of things. But I think I might finish this today because I do have some more time to read. So I'll check in with y'all as I progress and let you know what I think. I really want to like it. So we'll see how that goes, but I'll check back in a little while. Y'all, I just realized that was like the most Cadence-esque like initial review of a book ever. Like it was so sketch and scattered. I told you nothing about the book. So We Were Liars so far is told from the first person perspective of Cadence, who is a member of a super rich, like Richie rich family. Like her family owns a private island and they vacation there in the summers, and something happened and that changed. And we don't know what happened. apparently that's what the book's about. So she's telling us in sort of fragmented flashbacks about vacations on the island and introducing us to her family and her cousins. Her parents are recently divorced. So we're meeting all of these people through her sort of fragmented perspective. And that's what I meant when sorry, I'm getting ready to get on the bike. When I mentioned her head injury, like her concussion or something, that maybe her perspective is intentionally fragmented because that's how her little brain is working. And she's like, I don't know, 13, 14, 15 maybe when all this is happening. So it's a immature, like an adolescent or tween mind. Is that adolescent? Anyway, and it's an injured mind. So maybe that's what we're supposed to be taking from this. It's driving me a little bit crazy trying to like follow her thought patterns. But again, maybe we're supposed to be getting that emotion from her, that it's frustrating for her as well. And she tries to describe to us like the pain that she feels in these episodes that she has. And when the episodes come on, what it's like for her. But anyway, so that's where I am in the book. We are after whatever it is that's happened that's changed how they vacation on the island. The family is going back, the different cousins and it's her mom's side of the family, so mom's sisters. The cousins and the aunties are going back and sort of trying to recreate what they had before. And we still don't know what the event was. We don't know what's happened. I feel like that's what we're building up to. So let me get on the bike, get to riding, get to reading, and now I'll be back later and let y'all know what I discover and what I think. All right, see y'all in a while. Oh, it has been a long, busy day, y'all. I got my dogs. Well, I got a dog. I don't know where the other one is. Got me some comfy clothes. We are getting hammered with snow. Can y'all see that? So I'm going to sit on the couch and finish up We Were Liars. I think I told y'all that the story is told in first-person perspective from a narrator with a traumatic brain injury or something, so it's hard to follow at times, but I think it's supposed to be because you're supposed to have the sense that she has of trying to navigate the world with this brain injury. Well, then you find out what's really going on, and y'all, seriously, when I got to the part where they start to reveal, like the big reveal, I was dumbfounded. I had no idea. So yeah, there are some like big reveals. I think there's another big reveal coming. I'm not sure yet. I feel like we're building up to something. I don't know what it is, but I'm almost done with the book. So I'm going to sit here on the couch with my dogs and read. I think I'm going to read it on the Kindle though, because I showed y'all what's happening outside. The light's getting a little sketchy. So I'm going to finish reading this on my Kindle and I will check back in later and let y'all know what I think about the ending. Y'all, We Were Liars. True to its name, they were liars. Big reveals, big shocks. I don't know if I said this before. I didn't love the book in the beginning. Sorry, it's super echoey out here. I'm going to get on the bike. I did not love the bike. I did not love the book in the beginning. I kind of powered through it. The end of the book made me like the whole book. It's a bit twisted. I think it's high school read. It is definitely, I think, not intended for like middle grades folks. So if you have a middle grader and they want to read it, maybe read it with them. But I did find it very entertaining. I did not see the twists coming. And y'all, now I'm ready for something a little slower. So I am going to. I'm going to start the guest list. But I have my Kindle. I'm going to get on the bike and start it on my Kindle. So, sorry, I don't have I guess I can put the book there. I don't have the book to show you, but I'm going to get on it. And I believe that it is a much sort of slower developing story. So, and that's what I'm after. So I'm going to start that and I will report back once my phone's ringing. Who calls me? I'm going to start that now and I will report back my findings. I am getting ready to go to work. I just wanted to check in and tell y'all my thoughts on the back of the book, the guest list. I am enjoying it so far. I'm about halfway through. It is definitely, let's let the dogs out. It is definitely sort of a slow grind. You got to be ready for that, y'all. If you're not ready for it, if that's not what you're looking for, this is not the book for you. Oh, I've been shoveling snow, holding my camera's hurting my arm. I mean, I haven't been shoveling snow today. I mean, sort of just in the ether, I've been shoveling snow. I'm going to sit down. So it is about, I think we talked about this. Well, I'm not sure that I knew what I was talking about when I talked about it. It is a wedding on an island. Y'all are like, what are you talking about? It's a wedding on an island off the coast of Ireland. It is an isolated, it's an island, so it's isolated. And it's kind of a little like creepy, spooky, haunted. Which I'll tell y'all a story one day about me not being allowed to watch scary movies or read scary things in the dark here. And I'll tell you why that is, but we don't have time for that today. So we meet the bride and groom and then the wedding parties and some of the friends. And the circle kind of gradually widens out. The whole story takes place sort of on the wedding day and the days surrounding the wedding. But a lot of it is told in sort of flashbacks and like flash sideways kind of. Can you do that? As we learn about the characters. And y'all, it's really good. Again, it's slow. It is a very slow burn. But I'm ready for that after those last 2 sprints I just went through in The Villa and We Were Liars. Those were very quick, very fast building stories. You had to kind of hang on for the ride. This is much slower. So the bride is, once again, some sort of like lifestyle columnist, vlog builder, creator, website person. And the groom is a Richie Rich boy who went to this like private school in Ireland. So the groom's party is like all of those Richie Rich boys. Well, his best man was at school on scholarship for, I think they played rugby. So there's sort of this odd man out thing going on with the best man. The maid of honor is the bride's sister, who has some stuff going on too. And remember, there's something happens. Somebody ends up dead. So the whole time you're reading, you're like, well, does he end up dead? Does she end up dead? Did they end up what? So there are some characters that seem like they're being set up as the dead guy. So it almost seems like too much of a trope and they're not going to do that, but maybe not. So I'm about halfway through. I'm going to read a bunch today. I might get done today. I don't know. We'll see. I actually have to work. So I'll check back in after lunch and let y'all know how things are going. But I'm definitely enjoying it so far. But again, y'all, I cannot say this enough. It is very slow. I'm enjoying the slowness. There's lots of detail, lots of people telling you their thoughts, which if you're just looking for like a hit it and quit it, like quick action book, this is not the one. This is definitely a slowly developing psychological thriller, and y'all, it's all up in my head. So I'm going to get to work and I will check in later and let y'all know how I'm progressing. It's lunchtime, y'all. I am almost done. I have about 20 pages to go. Things are getting dicey. Something's happened. We don't know what it is. There's a body out there on the island, and we are jumping back and forth between characters. It seems like they're setting up the 2 characters that I thought might be the ones that are gonna end up being the ones that did it. I'm really concerned that one that I like is gonna be the scapegoat. I don't know, y'all. I gotta read this. I made myself a lunch. We're having a sandwich. I really should eat a salad, but the sandwich was quicker to make and it's easier to eat a sandwich and read. So I am gonna actually read on my Kindle because it's easier to do that and eat. So I'm going to eat and read, and I will let y'all know what I find out when I'm all done. Oh, y'all. I finished the guest list. Got a little dicey there towards the end, but it's good. It's done. I enjoyed it. It was definitely a slow burn psychological thriller. So if that's not what you're after, if you're not in for the sort of slow ride through some really detailed conversations, that's not the book for you. I liked the characters. They were very flawed. Y'all know how I love me some flawed characters. But here's how she did it. It's a Lucy Foley book. And she would introduce a character. And then some folks would be like, oh, Johnny's this and that. And I don't like him because blah, blah, blah. And then you Did I say that it was alternating first-person perspectives? So then you jump into Johnny's perspective and you learn from him why he is the way that he is. So we have flawed characters, but then we understand their flaws. So it was really good. It was a little creepy. I'm glad that there has been a no reading creepy books in the dark rule instituted here in the house. And let's be clear, it's instituted only for me. I'm the only one not allowed to read creepy books at night here in the house. But anyway, I finished it. I'm happy with the ending. There are definitely some twists and turns. Some things come up that you didn't really expect to come up. So it was good. It's done. Y'all, I'm exhausted. Between the villa, We Were Liars, and the guest list, that was a whole lot of killing and maiming and accidenting and crazy stuff happening. So I'm ready for a little relaxation. So I am going to go to a health spa, resort, something with 9 Perfect Strangers. Not really sure what this one's about. Something about 9 perfect strangers who meet at some kind of retreat, resort kind of place. It's Liane Moriarty, so there are bound to be some twists, but not like the dead guy showing up in the middle of the woods. At least I don't think so. So it's kind of longish. I want to get this vlog edited and up in a couple of days, so I might or might not finish this one, but y'all, Liane Moriarty books tend to go pretty quickly. So look how pretty the cover is. I'm guessing that's the like wellness retreat aspect of the thing. But anyway, so I'm going to start reading this. I will check in with y'all. I got to get back to work, but I'll check in with y'all either later today or tomorrow and let you know what I think. I have my show tonight, so I don't know if I'll make it back today. So I'm going to get started on this, and I will check back and let you know how I'm doing. Oh, y'all, it's been a couple of days since we've checked in and chatted about 9 Perfect Strangers. I feel like I've been slightly remiss, but I have been reading. I have not been wowed by this book. It's about, well, 9 perfect strangers. As we discussed, these 9 people meet at a health retreat in Australia, and it's okay. It's interesting. It's interesting meeting the people and learning about their sort of backstories. They're all very different people, of course, because that's the kind of people that, that you meet in these places. The people who run the retreat are interesting, and we learn all of everybody's stories in sort of disparate, like, flashbacks. And it's okay, but I'm to a point where we're at the retreat, and y'all, it's just kind of dragging. I'm gonna finish it. I'm actually pretty well into it. I might finish it today. I'll finish it today or tomorrow and let you know what I think. But right now, I think it's dragging. We're at the retreat. They're going through these like treatments or whatever that are mandated. But like, like you gotta, if you're there, you gotta do them. And they're just sort of like annoying, and the people don't want to do them, and you don't want to read about them, and everything just seems to be lasting a little bit too long. So I'm going to keep reading. Maybe that's all part of it. Maybe Liane Moriarty will pull it all together. I've read another of her books, and I can't remember what it was, and now I can't remember if I liked it or not. Now I'm questioning myself. So I need to get to work. But I have some time to ride and read this morning, so I'll get a bunch read this morning, and then I have some time this afternoon to read. So like I said, I might finish today. Either today or tomorrow I'll finish, then I'll come back and let you know what I think. Y'all, I have finished 9 Perfect Strangers, and I was not a fan. I think I told you that it started dragging kind of in the middle while the people were at the spa and going through their things. Well, it kind of got worse. So the plot kind of jumped the shark there. Things got really sketchy, very kind of unbelievable and annoying. And then it still just kept being long. Like it was just so drawn out. I did enjoy the characters. Liane Moriarty can build some characters. And these characters were interesting, and I did care what happened to them, but just this storyline that she built for them, I just did not enjoy at all. Now, it wasn't as bad as like Peace Like a River. Y'all remember that? Where literally every time I turned the page, I was like, oh my word, more words to read in this book? It wasn't that bad. I would give it about a 3 because the characters are so good and so interesting. Can you say that a book is okay because it has good characters, but the storyline is awful? I don't know. This storyline is not good. It kind of redeems itself a little bit at the end, but by then I feel like it's so far gone, like so far into the realm of the ridiculous, the ending kind of feels like a desperate attempt to get it back on track. So anyway, I did not enjoy 9 Perfect Strangers, but y'all, 3 out of 4 ain't bad, right? Because I did really enjoy the villa and the guest list. I didn't love We Were Liars at first, but then I ended up liking it in the end. So out of the 4 books that I read for this vlog, 3 were good, 1 not so great. So I'm gonna call that a win. Y'all, thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you haven't already done so, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I upload food and fitness videos on Monday with some book videos sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.